Now we will discuss about the cavernous sinus, one of the most important dural venous sinus. First of all, the introduction. This is a paired dural venous sinus. It is paired, present on both sides of the body of the sphenoidal bone in the middle cranial fossa. This cavernous sinus is known as cavernous sinus because of its interior appearance. It is the trabeculae that divides the interior of the cavernous sinus into the small spaces that is known as the caverns. That is why it is known as the cavernous sinus. And this feature, trabeculated appearance, is more prominent in the cadavers. This feature is most prominent in the cadavers, dead one person, while in the living one, this appearance, trabeculated appearance, is prominent in the only peripheral region, not in the interior of this cavernous sinus. The length is the measurement length means the anteroposterior extension, it is about the 2 cm, while the width, in this diagram it is the width is about 1 cm. Now the extension. Extension anteriorly. This cavernous sinus anteriorly extend up to the medial end of the superior orbital fissure. Means it is closely related with the orbit, and the posteriorly it extends up to the apex of the petrous temporal bone. Apex of the petrous temporal bone, it is a posterior extension of this cavernous sinus. Now the important relations of this cavernous sinus. As we discussed earlier, this cavernous sinus is present in the middle cranial fossa on the both sides of the sella turcica, or the body of the sphenoid bone. First of all, the relations. The important relations superiorly. We see this in diagram. Superiorly, it is related with the optic chiasma. Then optic tract, and it is the internal carotid artery. This internal carotid artery comes out from this cavernous sinus from piercing the roof of the cavernous sinus, and then it divides into its terminal branches inferiorly. You see in this diagram, inferiorly it is related with the sphenoidal air sinus. This sphenoidal air sinus is present in the body of the sphenoidal bone. Now, inferiorly it is related with this is the body, and this extension, it is the greater wing of the sphenoidal bone. Same bone. So inferiorly this is related with the body as well as sphenoidal sinus, as well as the junction of the body and the greater wing of the sphenoidal bone. Now the medial relation. Medially, this cavernous sinus is related with the pituitary gland. And the medially, it also is related with the sphenoidal ear sinus. Now the lateral. Laterally, this cavernous sinus, this region is occupied by the temporal lobe. As well as the uncus part of the brain, uncus of brain. And here there is a ganglion that is laterally related with this cavernous sinus, that is the trigeminal ganglion. Trigeminal ganglion of the fifth cranial nerve, which is divided into three divisions, that is the mandibular, maxillary and the ophthalmic. We discuss later on. So medially, this cavernous sinus is related with the pituitary gland and the sphenoidal ear sinus. This sphenoidal ear sinus is also inferiorly related, and the laterally it is related with the temporal lobe as well as the uncus of the brain as well as the trigeminal ganglion. This cavernous sinus anteriorly related with the superior orbital fissure, we have discussed. Closely to the orbit. Then posteriorly, this cavernous sinus, it is the apex of the petrous temporal bone. As well as it is the crus cerebri of the midbrain. Crus cerebri of the midbrain, both structures are posteriorly related. Now, structures passing through the cavernous sinus. It is frequently asked in the examination, what are the structures passing through the cavernous sinus? Basically, there are two structures that crosses the cavernous sinus from the interior. One is the internal carotid artery plus sympathetic plexus around it. This internal carotid artery enters the cavernous sinus by piercing its floor, while it leaves the cavernous sinus by piercing its roof. Then the second structure that passes through the cavernous sinus, it is the sixth cranial nerve, that is the abducent nerve. This is the sixth cranial nerve, abducent nerve. The sixth cranial nerve is related infralaterally to the internal carotid artery. It presents infralaterally to this internal carotid artery. Now, these two structures are separated from the interior, from the cavity of the cavernous sinus by the lining. This is the endothelial lining. We have discussed earlier, the dural venous sinuses are lined only by the endothelium. Endothelium that lines these two structures which straddles the cavernous sinus are separated from this sinus by this endothelium lining. Means they are present between the endothelium and the meningeal layer.